It's March 15th, 2015, and we want to know, has Batman been honing his skills by watching my online matches of Battlefield?
Does Bizarro give worst trade of Action Comics in many little short times?
All this and more is coming up next. It's Season 2, S2-23 of DCR, starting now.
We rescue a world from mysticism and tyranny, and usher in a future brighter than anything we can imagine.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's Distress Citizens Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the DCR. I, of course, remain your host, Sean Lamont, comic book reader extraordinaire, and I am joined, as always, by my cohorts in crime, the Punmeister General, the eminence of comics, the one, the only, Mr. Brian Klein. Hello, sir.
Hello, Sean.
Hello.
Hello.
It was in my notes. I misspelled it. It said
Okay.
Hallo, so I have to. I'm a slave to my notes. What can I say? I misspell robots all the time. It's Robutts.
I actually write that in my notes.
I'm sure you do, actually.
Because I know you're just going to correct me anyway.
That's correct. But we're also joined by sunshine, rainbow, lollipops, and juniper-flavored alcohol. The lovely Miss Kelly. Hello, how are you?
I'm great.
I'm sure you are.
Okay, the shot I took was a couple hours ago, so...
The first shot you took.
I only took one shot.
That's what they all say.
And I don't even know what it was. It was some kind of Slovakian alcohol and, smelled like, pine trees.
She's going to start tripping out on us any given moment here.
I'm fine.
Well, since you're okay, since you are safe to podcast, you are below the legal limit to podcast.
What is the alcohol limit?
It's really high, let me assure you, because I have heard some casts. Why don't you tell the people what they're in for?
Spoilers.
That's right. How many?
All of them.
That's right.
We're
And what
spoiling
are we spoiling?
all of the books in the New 52 line that came out on Wednesday.
Which Wednesday?
Wednesday.
I think we're 2 back right now. As of Wednesday, we'll be fully caught up. So not too bad. Not too bad.
So a Wednesday. I didn't say what kind of Wednesday.
But we're going to cover what? The plot beats?
And story stuff.
And character stuff?
And character stuff.
Okay. Sounds like a lot of stuff.
And we're going to give, our opinions, sort of. So just take it with a grain of salt.
Definitely.
It may not,
grains of salt.
It may not be, your opinion, but,
That's what makes it fun.
Yep.
Because what we love, you may hate, and what you hate, we may love.
Exactly.
How it works? Yeah.
I guess.
I guess it's the same thing either way.
Yeah.
But so you guys are forewarned, there are spoilers ahead, so read your books before you listen to this episode. Some of you may actually be a little confused. We actually released an episode on Wednesday as well, so we're trying to make a little bit of catch up from our time off that we were off the air for a little bit. So if some of these stories seem like you missed a chapter, you may very well have missed a chapter.
Yes.
Going back a week or a couple days to that Wednesday episode. So make sure you catch that one before you
Go
listen
back and
to
check
this
your
one.
pod blasts. Make sure you caught them all.
That pod blast, man, just taken off. Just taken off. As such, we are going to skip over questions yet again. Probably next week or the week after, I would say, is when we're going to get back into them. So
Eventually we'll get
soon,
there.
TM. Blizzard trademarked it, but soon. So without any further ado, let's say we
Move on forward?
No, I want to do something special today. We've ambled, we've lunged,
Trot?
I've never trotted. I have yet to trot in my life. So let us trot forward into this week's books. Brian. Oh, you got your little coconuts there.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a horse. Sounds like you're trying to get some small woodland creature to come to you.
Yes. Well, when we're talking about woodland creatures, what better place than in a bizarre stream of conscious noir-style trip through something that is Klarion number 6.
Woo! This is a dark day.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
No, today. Today's the dark day, not
I know.
yesterday. Well, I guess probably a couple of yesterdays ago if you want to get technical, but this is the last of Klarion.
Yes.
The last we will be dealing with Klarion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's gone after this.
Yeah.
Aw.
And we don't know why. We
No.
just don't know why. So, Brian, why don't
Too
you
bad.
tell us why, possibly?
Okay. Now, Sean, do you long for the days of the Falconer's Falcon Facts?
I do. I loved his Falcon
Well,
facts.
get ready for Clarion's Crowin Bout Crows, where Klarion explains to us that hawks can chase down and destroy drones, so he sends a crow after a drone, and it is immediately murdered.
Well, why did he send a hawk after
I
it?
don't know.
So he blatantly comes out and says hawks can take down drones.
Yep.
So I'm going to send not a hawk after
Yep.
this drone. Oh, man, I
So-
lost. How did this happen?
I don't know.
So did he disguise the crow as a hawk?
Yeah, did he put like a hawk head on it or something? Or
no, it's just a crow.
maybe
he had
tapes-
at the moment, Klarion has an army of crows that are in the shape of Klarion. The crows themselves are not
wait.
Klarion shaped, but they are forming a gigantic Klarion mass, like the fish in Finding Nemo.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough, fair enough. That's actually a pretty useful thing to have. I
Yeah.
mean, you go to the movies, you want people to leave the theater, you bring your giant crow version of yourself with
Yeah.
you. I mean, it works out great.
Yeah. So, Klarion and Cole, the evil tech magician that Klarion literally just met, but had a plan all along to steal tech magic from, because as it turns out, Klarion is actually evil and has been playing everyone all along. Also, they talk about how weird it is that buddy bots have only been out for a day, and that him and Goth Rapunzel are moving surprisingly fast in their relationship.
Wait. This is only a day since the series started?
Yeah.
Only a day.
Yep. And they're just flat out
Wait,
saying it,
how-
so at least
how
we can
many-
applaud them for that.
They're
How
flat
many
out-
hours are in a day in this
Well,
book?
this is the magic section of the
Yeah.
DCU, so it could be like
It might not be the
6-month
DCU.
day. Yeah.
As we said from the very first issue, we're not quite sure where this is happening.
Touche. This could all just be a juniper-flavored delusion of his that
Yeah.
he's having after his Slovakian family members came into town and made him do shots.
Hey, they weren't my family members.
Yes.
I married into the family, so.
Contessa and Claire Witch, the buddy bots, are bonding with each other, and Claire Witch, Clarion's robot
I'm
daughter.
so hungry. I could so go for a Claire Witch right
Oh,
now.
will you hold on to that joke? I swear to God, Sean. Claire Witch, Clarion's robot daughter, builds herself a broomstick and flies around the Moody Museum with reckless abandon.
Well, that's useful. Good thing Klarion got that unlimited power from the technology.
Yep. The 24-hour news station reports on people burning their buddy bots on stakes, just like in Salem. Do you see the parallels between magic and technology?
Well, wait,
Do you?
It's been a day. How many people could have even gotten a buddy bot at
I know.
this
Well,
point?
there were at least 5 people at that back alley buddy bot sale, you know, for kids.
I mean, were they just like, were they just dropping them from, were they in people's cereal? I mean, but
That's probably a
they
good
were
idea.
spider size. That would have been a great idea. Free buddy bot in your bowl of Fruity Pebbles, you know.
Could have just replaced the Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just been a box of Buddy Bots.
Yeah.
I would eat that cereal. There's Buddy Bot cereal.
Oh yeah,
sitting there.
because you're all about spiders just drooling out of your
Love
hand.
it. Love it.
Okay. So Claire Witch goes and bothers her dad and tells him how terrible a father he is. So he smacks her around and yells at her for not knowing magic spells that no one taught her. She falls through a window, suddenly gets the memo that she's a girl and not just a tiny robot Klarion, falls apart and then gets built back together. I think she just went through her entire childhood in about 7 pages.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So Piper, the female head of the Moody Museum, shows up and explains to Klarion that Gargora is attacking.
Who's
you know
Gargora?
You know Gargora from issue number 14 of The Demon from 1973?
Wait, what?
You know that 42-year-old comic Gargora?
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she says, Klarion, it's all your fault that Gargora is here, even though she has literally never been in this book once. Now you have to fight her. So Noah brings Teakle, his cat familiar, back to life, and all of his friends that he sold out about 6 pages ago are going to help him fight Gargora, a gigantic city-destroying she-beast with snake hair with even more heads on the end of the
So
snakes.
did somebody else take shots before,
Wait, how did we get here? I feel like
So-
we're missing something.
I feel like I missed something.
So Klarion tells his daughter to stay put, but she won't. So Gargora is all, don't feed me no baloney, I want a Claire Witch meal, and tries to eat her.
Wait,
Sorry.
Klarion has a kid?
I knew it was going to happen too. Klarion got his own buddy bot. That is his daughter.
Because they share DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she's a little robot thing
Yeah.
that flies around on a broom and gets smacked around for not casting spells that no one taught her, as Brian said.
Yeah. There's a lot of like weird like teen pregnant allegories and stuff that are going on with this,
What?
and them abandoning their children and whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You
Okay.
should have dressed her up like a hawk and sent her after the
Yep.
drones that were flying around.
Yeah, she had a broom. She could have flown over.
Exactly.
So, so Klarion summons his cat Tikal, who attacks him instead since he stuck him in a jar in the first issue. And Clarion's just like, hey, that's just the thing this writer does. Don't hold me accountable. So Tikal grows giant and fights Gargora, and Klarion saves Claire Witch. So he's a good dad after all?
Sure.
Yeah.
He went to the Dick Grayson of Earth 2 school of parenthood.
Yep. Could be from Earth too. So Klarion goes and tries to make up with Goth Rapunzel, who wants to know if she bewitched him into liking her. And she goes, hey, if I did, I didn't do it on purpose. Besides, isn't that something girls do anyway without magic?
Yeah.
Oh, weep womp. So hopefully they don't fall out of love again, because her love is the only thing that can save Klarion, as we've had reinforced by Piper and Noah about 15 times in this series already.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they live happily ever after?
Yeah, so in conclusion, at the Pit of Eternal Darkness, Cole's dad yells at him for taking over the world with buddy bots in a single day, but losing because a Medusa monster got beat up by a cat. So now
I
they're
still don't understand how that has anything to do with the technology
Yep.
stuff.
so now they're going to invest in witch busting technology instead. Swag is going to keep selling future tech at Demon Barber Beelzebub's barbershop.
Okay, that's a great place to shop.
And at the Moody Museum, they're going to keep learning magic. Guillermo del Toro Lady Piper, Goat-Legged Noah, Kid Rasputin, his robot daughter, girlfriend Contessa, Goth Rapunzel, Klarion, and his robot daughter with a terrible name, Claire Witch.
Tikal? Is Tikal back?
Maybe. I'm not quite sure. He grew giant, you know.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Watch my Tikal grow, you know. So
I'm
also,
going to use that in the bedroom sometime.
sure, why not?
And Beth will punch you.
I'm sure she will.
So, also there's a spider at the end of the hallway or something. The end.
The
The end. Oh, I swear if this is what Mystic U turns out to be, I'm going to be so disappointed.
What happened?
Klarion happened.
About what we expected
Yeah.
happened. I actually did a study on my own
Mhm.
when you loaned me your copy so I could read it.
Yeah.
I looked at it without reading any word bubbles. There was a very interesting story going on there. That's all I will say.
Okay.
It looked like there was a actual plot line happening if you just look at the art. It kind of got lost somewhere.
To be fair,
Yes.
it was obviously a series that was meant to go at the very least 8 to 12 issues.
Yeah, it felt like 12 is where they
Yeah.
were gunning for, and they
I
just
think I
went,
read an interview where they were talking about there were seeds being planted for issue 8 in issue 2.
Yes.
And it's like, well, obviously we missed some parts along the way.
Yeah, but do you cram everything into that last issue then?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I guess you're probably never going to come back around to Klarion. He very rarely gets a time out in the sun, so I guess use him if you got him, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have gone a little bit more reserved, I think,
Yeah.
with that approach. But it's gone.
I
I'm
know.
so sad.
I know.
I'm so sad. Just because.
Are you really?
I am.
Are you?
It's just like the Catwoman and the Katana. It brought me so much joy. It was guaranteed I was going to laugh at least once that episode because of this artwork that was brought before me. And
So we'll get another Amazon review, saying, listen to watch.
yeah. So we'll see. Yes. So I kept it magic as well. So we're going to
Okay.
move on. Fare thee well, Klarion. you shall be missed.
Yes.
You shall be missed. But staying in the magic half of the universe, or quarter, or third, or whatever they're down to now, the last issue also, Constantine number 23. And do you guys recall what Constantine was trying to do?
Save his friends from Earth 2.
Yes, all of the people that he has lost here on Earth 0. He went to Earth 2, found they were alive there, and everyone was happy-dappy. And then, of course, Darkseid attacked with Apocalypse, as we're seeing in Earth 2 World's End. And he decided he was going to try to save his friends and family. And he has led them through a portal back to Earth 0.
But not all of them made it.
Not all of them made it. His mom was pulled off by Dr. Fate. One of his friends died to parademons. There's people dying left and right, but he's made it out with his ex-girlfriend, one of his other friends, and his dad. And just as he got them to safety, Darkseid himself followed through the portal, and Constantine figured out he had to do one last con to save his friends and family. So he ends up sacrificing large chunks of the other survivors that were out there. He was trying to pull a bunch of people with him, but he just kind of casts them off and sacrifices them to power his magic. And he calls upon the God of Lies, this deity that apparently he's real buddy
I
with
would
for
imagine.
obvious reason. And he ends up tricking Darkseid. Darkseid steps through. Constantine looks like he's dead, and the entire universe looks like one of the ones that Darkseid has already conquered. And he's like, well, I already ate this universe. Well, I guess I'll go back to the one that I was about to eat. So, you just float here in oblivion and have a nice unlife, I guess. And Darkseid leaves, and that's when Constantine crashes back to Earth. He ends up down there, and all of his friends and family were teleported down there as well due to the god's intervention. And they don't see his saving them as worthwhile. They see all of the sacrifices he made. He ended up stabbing his own Earth 2 counterpart to power the spell to get them away. Obviously, they're a little cranky about that. They've lost his mom, friends, family, and his dad is standing there with a gun getting ready to shoot him in the head. And as he's on his knees, willing to accept his fate, he realizes that he is the only person willing to make those kinds of hard calls to save everyone. So just as his dad is about to pull the trigger, he teleports away, and his family are standing there arguing, oh my god, we still have to kill him. I can't believe he did that to our John Constantine. And one of his friends from Earth 2 and all the other survivors go, but look, he did kind of save us all. We're here and we're alive. That's gotta count for something, I guess. And John Constantine's just smoking a cigarette. The cost of the spell that he cast, he no longer likes the taste of cigarettes, but it's a habit. Gotta keep it up. I thought that was actually kind of a nice little curse, because the whole thing in Constantine has been the cost of magic, and every spell he casts has a cost to it, and that's this one. Now he's like, nah, I hate the taste of these things now. Stupid magic. But if he doesn't, he gets all cranky, and you don't want a cranky Constantine out there. So he heads on back to New York City, where he's told that Papa Midnight, noted sensualist Papa Midnight, is still on the lookout for him, because he's a little cranky about that whole Cult of the Cold Flame thing, where he kind of left him hanging, and then ended up going to Earth 2 and having adventures there. So Papa Midnight's hunting him down. He's like, don't worry, I'll find him a little bit later. This is my last issue. I only got like 2 or 3 pages left. What can he do? And he goes, speaking of people that I know, he struts on into the bar and he's like, Lloyd, my favorite bartender, how you doing? And Lloyd is standing there with a shotgun like, you deserted me with a bunch of zombies and monsters. Why would I let you in here? And he's like, because I got an awesome story. Fine, what's your story? Well, why don't you pour me a drink? We'll toast to life and I will tell you my tale. And that's where it ends. And as I said before, this Earth 2 thing, strongest this book was, I think. Because it gave him the excuse to be a hero without the Zatanna cast a spell on him to be a nice guy.
Yeah. And
then as soon as they broke that and he had to find a legitimate reason to be a decent human being, I'm going to air quote the crap out of that. It read so much better. And I think that was really what it was missing, was the legitimacy for why he would be doing any of those things. So it worked out well. It ended well. And after Convergence, we get John Constantine, Hellblazer.
Yes.
To pick it up from there. Hopefully more Papa Midnight. That's all I'm saying.
Papa Midnight and Lloyd.
Papa Midnight and
I love
Lloyd.
those
They
guys.
really need a spinoff. I think it's time we get like a Three's Company thing where it's Papa Midnight, Lloyd, and Constantine living in an apartment together. Mr. Roper keeps coming in and summoning demons.
Not Mr. Furley.
Oh, okay, fine. We can have Mr. Furley. Dude, I'm not that old.
Wait just a minute, Constantine.
I overheard them talking about summoning demons.
What's that Centralist doing over there?
Oh. So very strong. I highly recommend checking out this last arc if it's something that piques your fancy. Next up, Brian.
All right, Green Lantern Corps number 40. So, back in the long, long ago, John Stewart and his girlfriend Katma Tui, the daughter of Katma Onesie, were sent to help a planet when John accidentally set off a world bomb, killing the whole planet and his girlfriend.
Whoopsie.
Whoops. In the present day, John Stewart has come across yet another world bomb on the planet Xerox.
Just as an interjection, he also blew up Mogo once during
Yeah.
Blackest Night.
Mm-hmm.
He is the planet killer.
So, Xerox is being infected by the darkness, just like the planet Xanshi was. The Shadow Empire set up shop here, and every evil act that is committed on the planet fills the world bomb until it explodes. Pardon me. Explodes.
Explodes.
Yes.
That's yours. That isn't even mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John tries to get the bomb off the planet, while Druck just goes ham on all the demons. But it turns out Marrow, the little mute lantern, has defected, and they've given him the ability to speak. They ignored him, so now he's evil.
Oh, well, that's no good. I liked Marrow.
Yeah. So, Von Daggle and a seal are off on a moon where
a seal? Just
a seal, yes. Mm-hmm. They're
Baby!
I can pay to kiss from a rose on
Oh my god.
Hey, he's the one that said a seal is there.
I remain
And I can deal with yours. I can't deal with Brian's.
Stop! So, they are off on a moon where they're making the world bombs, and a seal tries to blow it up. But the slave...
Sorry.
But
I'll stop.
But the slave driver named Wilt is able to get away. Back on Xerox, the head of the shadow market calls on Mistress Wilt, and she crawls out of her face. Nightmare fuel.
Out of the eye sockets? Ocular distress.
No,
Ocular distress.
No, this was just more like she had like a shadow kind of in the middle of her face anyway. So she just crawled out of that shadow, and it was still kind of unsettling.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Yeah. To watch the planet die. So they're trying to drain the planet of hope. And since Feska's son Zep still thinks the good guys will win, she plans to kill him, but Marrow has a change of heart, or an unbrainwashing, and saves the little boy. So this turns the tides, and the people rebel against the darkness, but the bomb
Do they attack the darkness?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Man, apparently you don't know your D&D memes.
No, I
Jeez.
don't. I don't.
That was
Never
humorous
played.
to at least two people
Okay.
out there.
All right.
2 people understood what I was talking about.
All right. So the bomb is still going to go off, though, because there's still a bunch of evil crap that was going on. Green Lantern rings won't work on it. So John Stewart goes, "Oh, yeah, that's why I kept the Star Sapphire ring in my back pocket," and destroys the world bomb with the power of love.
No, wait. I thought a seal was there, not Huey Lewis in the news.
Yeah, Huey Lewis and the news. So, Wilt runs away. Hooray!
Huzzah?
Yeah.
Are we
so-
huzzah?
Oh yeah. So Druck have a hard time communicating his feelings. So Feska just kisses him, and now him and Zep get to have awkward conversations at the breakfast table every morning.
Yeah. So, how exactly do you hug my mom with one arm? I got a ring.
Yeah. So John leaves them all behind to fix up the planet while he goes and flies off into a splash page for the next 2 months.
Whee!
Actually, for the next forever, because this book isn't coming back.
No, this book isn't coming back, but he is actually the star of the Lost Army book.
Okay.
So he will be going off. Actually, it looks like 2-6. Is that her name? The math.
The math,
Lantern?
whatever her name is. Yeah.
And then him and 2 other people, I want to say,
Okay.
are the centerpieces of that book. So we get kind of a core book, kind of a
Expanded universe?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way of looking at it. It's outside of the normal Lantern Corps arena, but we get at least a familiar face at the head of it. So
hopefully a seal comes along.
Baby. I just love when we get to bring Seal into things.
Yes.
I really do.
Mm-hmm.
It makes my life so much better.
Yeah.
And I suppose you're keeping it DC since that did come from,
Exactly. It came from Batman.
Yeah.
Came from Batman. You do some kiss me, kill me, thrill me.
Hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me. Thank you very much.
Stab me, give me $20.
Bono's best when he's got a string section behind him. Come on. And don't forget about Smashing Pumpkins. The end is the beginning, is the end is the beginning, is the end is the beginning, is the end.
I remember that very much so. Yeah.
And then they used that again for Watchmen, which made me laugh so hard.
So speaking of the end is the beginning is the end of the beginning and end of the beginning, we also have the final issue of World's Finest number 32. I don't know if it's the final issue, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think it actually comes back.
Really?
I'm not positive.
Okay.
I think it changes format once more, but
all right.
I think it survived. We'll find out here, though. If you guys recall, Earth 2, we're dealing with the past. No, we're dealing with the past. This is before even Earth 2 number 1. They've been having these incursions from this one lady from Apocalypse named Entry.
Oh, Entry.
Yes.
Hey, Entry. Hey, Superman, you want to be a Darkseid Army guy?
No. Okay, I'll be back at 5.
All right.
Well, Earth 2, Batman, and Wonder Woman have decided they figured out what this is. They figured out who these new gods are, who this Entry is. Brian, they're Kryptonians. Yeah, it's the only thing they can figure out. I mean, Superman's all super powerful and stuff, and these guys are equally as powerful. They just must be other Kryptonians that keep coming over here. So how do we stop a Kryptonian? How do we do it? Well, we got this giant block of green meteor. Mm-hmm. That seems to work against Superman quite well. So the Batman of Earth 2 dons his bat goggles and his bat blacksmithing apron and goes to the Bat Forge. All of these things are branded as well. Yeah. And forges, as the elves would call, green pokey stick.
Okay.
They forge the sword, and just as they finish forging it, boom! Entry steps out like, hey, where's Superman? I shouldn't have even come. Why did I even come here?
Yeah, really.
Well, she does, and then Superman and Wonder Woman try to attack her, and they're fighting her off, and blah, blah, blah. The sword doesn't seem to be working all that well, but they end up using...
Sorry, the Judge of Apocalypse said you're only allowed to use staves in this battle.
Oh, curses! No, but they end up calling down the Roman gods themselves to steady their blade, and they stab Entry and kill her. Yay! Entry is dead. All that build-up was for that.
All right.
I'm just leaving that there. Elsewhere, Lois is still trying to get her TV interview with the survivor of all of the satellites, i.e. the things that broadcast television everywhere, inside the Daily Planet that has been, well, according to the guards out front, it was evacuated, but as she walks in, everyone's working like it's a regular work day. So I guess the Daily Planet really nose to the grindstone even during a crisis. I can respect that. But maybe they should have informed the guards that there actually are people inside.
Maybe.
They sit down, and as she's about to get the TV cameras to come and broadcast, the guy ends up turning out to be brainwashed by the anti-life equation. Darkseid himself sent him this guy, and he stabs her with a knife and kills her. Clark arriving too late to save her, and it's the sad moment of him holding Lois Lane going, no! But at the funeral, luckily... her father, General Lane, goes, what if I put her in a robot body? Not exactly those words, but pretty much that's what was the entire point of the scene was like, if only there was some way I could bring her back. Maybe there is.
I would love one day for Max Landis to explain Earth 2 of the New 52.
Well, that's pretty much the entirety of the end of this issue. It brings us right up to Earth 2 issue 1 as the, all of the Trinity of Earth 2 end up getting killed there. Well, we think they were killed as we see Superman keeps popping up even afterwards. But, that was the whole thing. And then Lois Lane gets put into Red Tornado's body and, set up stuff. You know what? I'm being overly harsh. It was a It answered a couple things that I actually, how did Terry Sloan get Val-Zod? It answered that question. It answered, how the heck did Lois Lane have wind powers just because she was stuck in a robot body?
Yeah.
What with the Roman god elemental was stuffed inside her for no apparent reason, but they just did, so we just know it's there at least.
Everybody.
There were things they were at least back explaining stuff that showed up in Earth 2 that may have had bigger questions to them. And, so I mean, if that's your bag, again, what I like, you guys probably hate. What I hate, you guys may love. So if you're curious about that, give it a shot. To me, it just felt really, really, as I said, all that build up for entry, and then it was a 4-page fight scene, and then they just stabbed her and she died. I was like, wow, good thing you were here.
Yep.
Bat goggles. Way to go. So next up, though, I believe I go again. Yeah. I do. I have Earth 2 World's End number 23.
All right.
Are you ready? Are you strapped in?
Sure.
Kelly, are you ready for Earth 2 World's End number 23?
Sure.
Are you sure you're ready?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it then. Apocalypse has swallowed Earth 2.
So it's ended.
No, it's covered it up with all of the plates of Apocalypse, and it's going to eat it. Quite literally, just start digesting the planet inside of Apocalypse.
Number Munchers style.
You know it.
Right.
But out in space, there is this giant arc spaceship named the Endurance that could probably fit a whole bunch of survivors that Terry Sloan built and take them away from this universe so that they can try to set up shop somewhere else. Unfortunately, since Apocalypse is completely surrounding the planet, no way for them to get down and pick up the actual survivors. So they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. Terry Sloan wants to leave, but everyone's like, shut up, Terry Sloan. They just kind of smack him around quite a bit, actually, while he's on there. In Amazonia, though, the Earth 2 equivalent of Themyscira, where the Wonder Woman and her Amazons live, that's why they call it Amazonia. It's not the shopping center of Earth 2.
Yeah.
Kalibak, now that Jimmy Olsen, the quote-unquote new god of Earth 2 that has just been deemed as such, is taken out of the picture, and in that battle had taken out all of the armor, well, not all the armor, but all the, like, special weapons and stuff that Big Barda had, and she's defenseless. Kalibak has decided he's going to take over the army and turns on Big Barda and starts attacking her as Jimmy Olsen comes to, opens up a portal for all of the other people to escape. Big Barda jumps into the portal as well and ends up in Atom's Haven with everyone else. And she just kind of steals a coat, throws up a cloak over her head, and just kind of wanders off into the crowd. So now Big Barda's roaming around with all of the Earth 2 survivors as they're trying to escape. Alan Scott, meanwhile, beaten back. He was making a giant force field around Earth 2, try to keep the apocalypse at bay, literally. He ends up retreating after it ended up crushing his force shield and rejoins Val-Zod and Power Girl and Red Tornado, and they go one last hurrah, one last charge into the breach again, and they charge their way through, and they end up punching their way through the hordes of Apocalypse. But that's when Alan Scott remembers, hey, the power of the Earth, that force field that I have, yeah, I can't make another force field, but all that energy is still out there. It's still out there. It's floating around. So he ends up taking it and just kind of blasting it out in one big blast and opens up a giant hole inside the plating of Apocalypse, allowing the sun to stream in and an actual escape route for all of the humans to escape. And that is the end of this issue. Seems fairly normal. I mean, that was a very easy to recap issue of this.
Yeah, that's weird.
Next issue kind of goes off the rails a little bit. So hold off for that one. This one, as I said, very much by the numbers. Here's the story beats. We have all of our characters. We're kind of pointing them out in these little vignettes, but it is one strong narrative all the way through. So I have no complaints about this issue whatsoever.
Okay.
None whatsoever. So
shall we go to the distant future of 5 years from now?
5 years in the future.
Yes, it's the new 52 Futures and number 45.
This is a happy issue, right? This is a happy issue, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It's been 2 weeks since I took these notes. I'm not quite sure. I'm laughing just as much as you are, unfortunately, at my notes. We start off at Castle Frankenstein. Frankenstein dies after telling his life story to Amethyst, and he tells her to go out and be the princess she was when he first met her, and he dies. So,
the princess was inside you all along.
Yeah. So she goes off to figure out where she fits in the world without her kingdom, but not without Frankenstein's awesome, gigantic friggin' sword, too.
Dude, that was the best prologue to a launching she should have a launching book from this of her going to reclaim Gemworld from, all of the apocalypse and the parademons and Eclipso because she's like, oh, I'll take, even if it's just me and my sword, I'll liberate it myself. No, not just me, as she picks up Frankenstein's hulky sword, but the two of us.
Yes.
Goes trudging off into the snow.
She's dual wielding now.
I know.
She found a Genji glove at Frankenstein Castle.
She's like, Drizzit, Doerden. Go on.
Okay.
I'm making a whole bunch of D&D things that
I'm
you don't
making
get.
Final Fantasy jokes, so I'm fine. So New York, they're cleaning up after Brainiac, and they're still trying to figure out what to do with his noozle ship controls. So Superman is all, hey, I got this, and throws it into the sun.
Yay!
Great to have you back, Superman.
Woo! Reference in the playbook once more.
Yep. Shazam accepts the new Firestorm as a member of the Justice League after she flies a bunch of kids home in a Dumbo ride that she made.
That was actually pretty cute.
Mm-hmm. And Lois Lane is all about Superman's beard. Hey, Lois, get on. Everyone got on that boat 5 years ago after Doomed. Get with the now. Or the then? I don't know.
Then.
Yeah. In upstate New York, King Faraday, Voodoo, and Ethan Boyer, remember them?
Man, he's been out of the picture for a while.
Go into a nondescript house. Boyer immediately gets knocked out. Voodoo gets put in charge of the house, and they go down a hidden elevator, and Faraday sequesters himself in the Cadmus Command D bunker.
Now this has some history, doesn't it?
That's where they will eventually find Commandy in the future.
Yes. And there was a whole bunch of stuff that happened there in Final Crisis too.
Yeah.
That, so wasn't that in Bloodhaven before?
I think that's where it was originally. It's that great far off Kirby future that they're always saying this is going to happen eventually. It still counts in continuity.
Man, that bunker's got a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah, seriously. So Voodoo goes upstairs to set up shop, where she immediately gets gassed and taken out by Sergeant Rock, Mercy, Banger, and Mash. An unexpected betrayal?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think any of those guys really got along in the first place. There was never any kindness between all of them. It was just we're all mercenaries.
I mean, Banger and Mash maybe because they got the matching names.
Well,
and outfits,
I mean that would be really awkward if Banger had to take out Mash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at Terrific Tower, Batman Beyond is getting pretty grumpy because that was all too easy. The whole taking out Brainiac.
Oh
thing.
yeah, but Brother Eye just wants to play baseball.
Yeah. Meanwhile, former Red Robin Tim Drake, who as we all know has been living under the name Jarlsberg Camembert,
God, 3 more issues.
Gets all passive aggressive about how he totally learned to do that from regular Batman. Mr. Terrific goes to shut down Brother Eye, but I'm sorry, Dave or Terry, I can't do that.
Michael.
Yeah.
Michael Holt is.
Oh yeah, Terry Sloan was.
Yes, the other one.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah. So the lights go out. Batman Beyond knows that Brother Eye did it. Brother Eye wants to know how anyone knows its name, and he goes, I am Terry McGinnis. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Oh, man.
So Brother Eye infects all of the dead security guards with this spider robot nanovirus, and we're off to the real ending, everybody.
Yeah, woo! There was a lot of setup for this one.
Yeah.
A lot of setup. We have the unfair advantage of actually knowing what happens next issue in most of these weekly books, and it's it makes it painful to read this one again.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh. But no, still good. Still enjoying it. It was worth the wait. Kind of think we could have shaved off maybe 10 issues at the front end.
Yeah.
But I guess you were setting up a bunch of stuff and making people actually give a crap about these characters.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why it was there. Again, we've talked about that before, I believe, as well, where it was like, who cares about these people? Well, here's 10 issues to make you care about them, and then we'll actually tell a story from there. So makes very much sense. So, Brian, that wraps up the first half of the show.
Yeah.
Do you have any books for the second half of the show?
I've got Action Comics number 40.
Okay.
I've got Detective Comics Endgame number 1.
All right.
Justice League United number 10.
And then
and that's it.
A really short one for me as well. Batman Eternal number 49 and Suicide Squad number 8. So this is kind of a nice little compact week for us, since we're going to be doubling down and probably recording Wednesday's episode as well. So hold on a couple seconds. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will go through those books.
Sure to get down, good love. Baby got 'em up all over town. Strictly biz on play around. Cover my ground, I gave out the pound. every day, true play away. I can't get her off my mind. Think about the girl all the time. East side to the west side, pushing fat rides, it's no surprise. She got tricks in the stash, stacking up the cash, fast when it comes to the gas. Got no mean average, on when she got the happy. Baby, you a perfect team. I wanna get in, can I get down so I can win?
No, we're back. We're
Okay.
actually back this time. We're back, and we're in the Bat half of the show.
Okay, so that means it's time for Action Comics number 40.
No, it means it's time for Batman Eternal. Bizarro doesn't go here.
Right, Bizarro no am go here.
No. For realsies, Bizarro no go here.
No.
Oh, okay. I think we're.
The Bizarro goes there?
No, Bizarro doesn't go here.
I'm confused. Are you with us, or are you doing your Bizarro thing?
Third base?
Third base.
Okay. So, Superman,
So I guess we're doing Action Comics. Okay. Go ahead, by all means.
So Superman, this past Wednesday, for reasons he can't understand, falls through a portal right past continuity and onto the square Bizarro world with its square Swiss cheese moon.
The absolute best transition of the continuity does not matter as much anymore. That the actual what happens in the book needs to have its own continuity, not the entire line. And they're just like, hey, fit this in wherever you want. It just happened one day, and maybe it didn't. We don't know.
Yeah.
Just read the book.
Yeah. So there he meets Bizarro. They fight each other, and Superman gets accustomed to the backwards speaking and backwards sound effecting of the planet. And then they.
I did love that as a touch, though. Is that a standard thing, or is that?
That might be new.
Okay.
It might be new.
It was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Regardless.
So, then they team up so Superman can fight the greatest hero of Bizzopolis, Metallo. He's captured the Injustice League, with Bat-Zarro, Yellow Lantern, Aquaman with a fishbowl on his head, Flash that can't move, Wonder Woman who is just a statue. Superman tries to fight Metallo, but he talks normally and points out that he's trying to fix Bizzopolis, but they're just wrecking the place. But it's what they want to do, and the people of the city love them for it, or maybe they hate them for it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah. But who really cares? Because Bizaquaman is using a narwhal like a sword. Metallo has a computer brain that requires logic, and he just cannot stand living here at all.
No, he hates it.
It's driving him insane.
Bizarros hate them.
Yep. Then Doomsday comes through a portal. Superman tries to stop him, but then after backwards splaining Doomsday to Bizarro, Bizarro helps out and gets infected and becomes Doomzarro.
Bazoomsday?
Yep.
Bazoomsday. I like that one better. I know they called him the other one, but I like Bazoomsday.
Yeah. Wasn't that like an old Tom Hanks show?
Bazoomsday?
Bazoomsday Buddies.
Bazoom Buddies.
Yeah. So he goes to destroy his planet and releases the Doomsday Mists, which turns everything on Bizarro Earth super cute. It's the Injustice League versus bunnies and pixies.
Awesome.
A bunch of gnomes just rip off Superman's beard.
Oh no!
If that's the explanation of Superman losing his beard, that's fantastic. Bizarro
God damn you, gnomes!
Gnomes! Superman backwards consoles Bizarroist Lane. But wait, Bizarro sacrifices himself to stop Doomzarro. Superman, kind of doesn't console Bizarroist Lane. But wait, Bizarro am back. Everyone hates Bizarro, and he and hate them too. Finally, a Superman story have an unhappy ending, and Bizarro pie faces a very confused Superman back into his continuity.
Yep.
Bizarro, I love you. It's the beginning.
You mean you hate Bizarro?
Yes.
Yes, Bizarro, I hate you.
So much fun, so much visual gags.
Fun. Oh my god, Cooter just went nuts with this issue.
And it showed he was just having a field day with it. So many just little tiny gags hidden in between every single panel that are so much fun. Really ugly, beautiful Bizarro feel.
Yeah.
Just that shovel jawline on all of them.
Yes.
So, it fills me with hope that the Bizarro mini that's coming out after Convergence could be a lot of fun, because this, as a one-shot, a good time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think they leave enough that you can expand on it and have a good, especially if it's just Metallo sitting there pulling his hair out like, guys, come on, I just built this city.
Leave for 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
That could be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I think it could. So,
High recommendation if it's still sitting around your comic shop.
definitely. I'm sure we're not the first people to tell you that.
Yeah.
This issue got completely lauded by everybody, so it was well worth it, though. I guess I'm gonna reclaim the Bat half then, since you just kind of stole it there. I guess Batman was in there, kind of, but I have Batman Eternal number 49, where Bullock and Bard are rushing their way towards Blackgate Prison because it's riot day. So, woo, let's all head on over there. It's like a sale on prisoners. But Commissioner Gordon has been taking care of himself because the Penguin was tasked to assassinate him during the riot, and he gathered up a whole bunch of other people and ends up breaking free and pulling the Penguin into a cell and beating the crap out of him. Weep, wah.
Yep.
And so Gordon seems to have everything well in hand. The other Bat family members, not so much. They are all facing off against other people. It's like Batwing against Scarecrow, Batgirl against Joker's daughter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're having an even worse time because Hush has disabled all of their extra gear that they had that was all tied into the Bat computer. And now his ultimate plan has come afield. He is going to take the Bat boat and remote control drive it around Gotham Bay, destroying all of the other boats in the bay. The pinnacle of Hush planning right there.
Sounds about right.
He's gonna sink every boat, and they're gonna go, oh, you sunk my battleship, but he's gonna do it. Luckily, though, Julia Pennyworth has made her way to the Robin's Nest. Red Robin's little base that he set up on top of a skyscraper, and he, of course, built his own Bat computer inside there that was tied into the network, and she ends up hacking her way in. But as she's fighting against him in their hacker wars, there's all this like diving into 3D isometric motherboards and everything, and there's just, you see the little pulses of information flying all over. It's insane. But as she's distracting him with that, Alfred is able to break free from the Alquarium and comes and punches out Hush. Poor guy didn't stand a chance against Alfred, so Hush taken out of the picture once more. I guess they're going to toss him back in the Hush Aquarium. In the skies above Gotham City, though, Clue Master has pulled in Stephanie Brown in the Clue Copter with his Clue goggles and is trying to get her to join his side one final time, and she goes, No, I don't think I'm going to do it. He's like, but you get Clue goggles! Who would not want these awesome Clue goggles? See, the C is one eye and the E's another, and there's the LU on the bridge. Tell me how cool that is! And she ends up jumping out as the Clue Copter flies away. This issue does end, though, with Batman stealing from me, or at least vindicating me, because you would say I'm a gamer, would you not, Brian?
Yeah, just a bit.
I'm fairly happy with my Vidya games, and I play them, and I'm fairly decent at most of them. One style of game I suck at, and that's the first-person shooter. I absolutely suck at.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I blow at Twitch gaming. I'm horrible at it. But there's one that I always play.
No peripheral vision. It's insane.
I even
give
have
me give me Mario and Mega Man any day.
Well, Battlefield is my poison. I love that game, and I absolutely suck at flying any aircraft. And you have to like get kills or at least shoot things so that you can get points to unlock stuff like the better missiles and everything on your planes. So I will fly around and then shoot at something, hit it like twice and get 20 points, and then crash my plane right into the tank. And that's what Batman's doing here, because he has stolen that F-16 from the Air Force, and he is flying it straight into the face of Robo-Bane, right into the middle of the streets of Gotham, with Bane standing there like, yes, finally we shall duel to the death. Apparently he thinks he can take this F-16 that's about to crash into his face, and Jason Todd's just like, whoop, 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 running it out of the way. So that's where it ends. I kind of want to see the Robo-Bane versus a jet now. I really
doesn't understand symbolism or just how basic human anatomy works, apparently.
Nope. So we'll see how that plays out next episode or issue or however you want to phrase it. Next up, Brian.
All right, Detective Comics Endgame number 1. It's an Endgame tie-in. It's a story on the edge of the Joker zombie attack. And hey, who better to focus a whole issue on than Money Spider?
Oh, hey, I'm with that.
He just got better from getting shot.
Yeah.
So, so he's trying to save his mom, who is a stripper, and she's like trapped on the other side of town. So he comes across a group of kids who are trying to help by dressing up in low-rent capes and stuff, so maybe they are Robin?
Dum. Yeah,
maybe
that's actually the premise for the We Are Robin book is all of the other kids crowdsourcing Robin.
Gotcha.
In Gotham City. So this seems to be kind of a lead-in to that.
Gotcha.
And obviously Money Spider is going to have a role to play in there as well.
I see. Okay, so they stumble across the Bat Team, who helps them get across a few buildings. They then spray paint a bunch of leftover Anarchy masks to make them look like Jokers, so they can sneak past the rest of the Jokers.
A pretty good idea.
To reunite Money Spider with his mom. So yeah.
That's it?
All right. Well, I thought it was actually pretty decent, though. I know not everyone was on board with it.
It was a nice little story.
It's
completely inessential to the
to Endgame.
Endgame,
well, yes,
yeah.
but it's a lead-in issue for post-convergence.
Yeah, although nothing really said this is a lead-in to.
No, I guess
it was stuff that I kind of had to read into because I knew that what was coming after Convergence.
Well, yeah, but I think Detective sells well enough that they figured they could at least maybe bait a couple people with it.
Okay.
And then they would maybe be intrigued enough after Convergence to go, hey, you want to check this out? It's pretty good, especially being an Endgame tie-in. That way they have the people coming in from Batman itself that are the completionists that want to read all the Endgame stuff. So,
yeah.
It's not a bad idea to have a lead-in issue for that, but maybe they should have spread that word a little bit better,
or
I guess.
Or a logo on there or something.
Or at the end, just have a, hey, were you interested in this? Maybe you would want to check this out in 2 or 3 months and see how it plays out. It may be up your alley. Yeah. So I enjoyed it. As I said, I know not everyone was on board with it because of not understanding what it was or just wasn't there what they were looking for from an Endgame tie-in. So, next up I have New Suicide Squad number 8, and we are in Photropolis, China. The fake metropolis that they built in China.
Okay.
Exactly to scale. Looks just like Metropolis, where they had the Suicide Squad had been sent in to destroy all of these factory manufactured superheroes that China was making. And they succeeded in their mission except for one. There's one guy that's flying around trying to catch them, and the Chinese army is trying to stop both the Suicide Squad as well as this one renegade Chinese hero that has kind of gone off on his own. And at the end of the last issue, Harley was about to be crushed by the Daily Planet Globe, but luckily the Chinese superhero comes in and saves her and says, I saved you because no one else dies here today. I'm sick and tired of all these people dying. I'm going to go talk to the army. No one else dies here. And he goes flying off into the sky. And as he is about to go talk to the Chinese army, he turns around to see the Suicide Squad wholesale slaughtering all of the Chinese army. And he's like, guys, what did I just say? I just said no one else died. Black Manta, you just stabbed that guy through the face. I just saw that. I'm standing right here. And he goes, you know what? Screw this. I'm done. Chinese army, Suicide Squad, I'm not dealing with either of you anymore, and he just flies away off on his own. Probably the wisest decision of any character in this book. He's just like, I'm gone. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Which, I guess, Suicide Squad wins because they're able to escape. They take their little battle poses, they collect their gil, go about their lives, and they end up going back home. We get to check in with Vic Sage in Washington, D.C., who's talking to the Secretary of Defense, who is like, okay, well, you better head on back to Suicide Squad there, Vic Sage, because I gotta tell you, we here in the government think the Suicide Squad is doing a bang-up job. And he's like, are you kidding? They haven't successfully completed a single mission yet. He's like, that's just it. It's so messy. No one could ever trace it back to us. And he's like, no, this is horrible government inefficiency here. We should at least succeed in the mission and then make it look messy. He's like, no. You just go back and keep doing what you guys are doing because it's amazing. What can I tell you? It's just amazing. And he's all frustrated flying back. Meanwhile, Black Manta saw what the Chinese superhero did and he said, is that an option? Can I leave this book? I want to go too. Can I leave this book as well? And Amanda Waller tells him, no, you can't leave. You signed on. You're a prisoner. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. And that's when he tells her, well, why are you here? There's there's a bomb in my head. That's why I'm stuck here. Why aren't you leaving? And she just does the whole, cause I got nowhere else to go. And, goes home and cries in her bed and all alone.
That's depressing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. The end of Suicide Squad.
Is that the last issue?
No, they
Okay.
continue on afterwards. They got a movie coming out here
Yeah, you're
soon.
right. Duh.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. Same creative team again. So I guess
Okay.
we'll see what they do post convergence, see if they come up with a cohesive plan and execute off of that.
All right.
Moving on.
Finishing off, I think, with Justice League United number 10.
Oh God, I forgot how short this episode was
Yeah.
with the amount of books we had.
Yeah. So there's a black hole that was created because Infinitus wasn't there when a big bomb went off.
Was it a black hole sun? Because I heard, won't you come?
Won't you come, yeah. It's going to wash away the rain.
Okay, well, good.
Or at the very least, the Legion of Superheroes.
Well, they are as plentiful as the rain.
Yes. So, but hey, so there's a big black hole, but hey, Bith got sucked into it, so there's that.
Yay.
So he's gone now. Hawkman is suddenly good again, and they even say, "Oh, he's good again."
Wait, is he on our is he one of you, or?
Yeah, I don't know. So, and Thanagar is right by the black hole, so they've got to save everyone. Brainiac 5 comes with a plan to teleport Thanagar with Zeta beams. So all you Randian teleporting ships, get to the top and bottom of Thanagar. White Witch, you're a character, right?
Yeah, I think we acknowledged your existence once.
Yeah, so use magic to make all of this technology work better.
Well,
okay.
as Klarion taught us, magic and technology are pretty interchangeable.
Yep.
Do they burn her at the stake afterwards with the buddy bots?
No, not yet.
Ah.
So now, Rand, although Swag probably could be from the same time period for all we know. So now, Rand and Thanagar, two planets that hate each other and couldn't stand being in the same star system, are now literally in orbit with each other. So everything old is new again.
Didn't they learn from this before?
Yeah, well.
Isn't the... I thought they did this
thing,
once.
I think this is the thing that happened once, yeah. Or I think they got mushed together into one planet before.
Yeah, I think it was Thanagar got destroyed and all the Thanagarians came to live on Rand.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I just remember that because there was the two Green Lantern guys, Vath and other guy.
Yeah,
that were Rand and Thanagarian that didn't
they were the
get along.
original odd couple.
Yeah, well, maybe not original.
No,
maybe slightly
maybe.
derivative.
Yeah. So after saving Thanagar, the Legion is going back to the future.
Gotta go back in time.
Or forward in time, one of the two.
Somewhere in time.
Yep. Brainiac 5 is worried that his Supergirl Brainiac 5 fanfiction is now negated because they met in the past.
No.
And Dream Girl, who is important, I guess, is going to be the leader of the Legion now. Dawnstar is super impressed by Equinox because she was an inspirational native hero to her in the future.
I can see that.
The Legion is about to leave, but then Brainiac 5 shows up and goes, "Oh yeah, I fixed that Zeta Beam quirk that made Adam and Alana Strange awesome, completely as an afterthought off panel. So, okay, Legion's out now, bye." And I just go, "No, Legion!
You ruined it again,
Just one more, just leave one more black mark on Justice League United as you're leaving." But hey, the Justice League United is still going to be a team, so hooray.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that they're still going to be around at least.
Yeah, and also in the past, Bith emerges from his black hole at the dawn of time and is all, crap. Almost had it this time. I guess I'm just going to have to rewrite history all over again.
Is he going to tame Littlefoots and take them into the future?
Excuse me, little feet.
Littlefoots.
Little feet.
When it's dinosaurs, it's Littlefoots.
Yep. All right, so I mean, there was a return to form with some of the interaction between our actual Justice League main cast.
This one did focus more on the Justice League United than it did the Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, Supergirl referring to Bith as HP Love Creep.
Yes.
Pretty fantastic.
Yes.
Animal Man pretending he knows future slang when he's hanging out with the Legion was amazing. Oh yeah, freaking frack, guys. Shake my fist at them.
That's Bjorken, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and the Animal Man Green Lantern banter kind of returned. The constant indignity that Green Arrow has to suffer as Animal Man has to fly him everywhere by grabbing him by his armpits.
Need to make a rocket arrow.
He says I was like, I gotta make a jetpack arrow or something. Yeah. So that was fun. So here's hoping the next creative team picks up on some of that. continues with that stuff that we love so much about this.
Yeah, I mean,
story.
there's so much stuff seeded in here as far as good quirks between the characters and their personalities and how they gel that you can easily run forward with where this book is at. So, as you said, hopefully they actually do that. Then again, maybe they'll come out and surprise us and maybe do something even more fun.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm always willing to give something a shot.
Yep.
So, but that's it. That's all of our books in this tiny
That's it?
little episode. Tiny little
We still got to record
episode.
another episode, Kel.
Yes, so don't be wandering off on me.
I was just like, I didn't even have time to nap.
I'm
Jeez.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, you guys didn't, let me nap during this episode.
Man, we're gonna have to get the shack attack ready for when next time she falls asleep. We can play a little shack foo and wake her
Oh,
up.
yeah,
So.
get Fushnikins in here.
Yeah. So as a reminder to you guys, go out there and buy these books. We're now 1 week behind. Woo! So you should be able to actually pick these ones up. There were some decent ones out there. So if any of them intrigued you, as I've said before, I know it's at the very, very end of all of these plot lines. So it's more than understandable if you don't understandable. If you didn't want to jump on with the last issue of all of these arcs, but the trades will be coming out pretty soon for most of them, so feel free to wander back that way and give it a shot. Although
Come on, Action Comics 40.
Yeah, Action
Come
Comics
on.
40 is just a walk in and have fun, so you can easily do that one. But make sure you buy them, because if you don't buy them, they don't make them. Nobody wins. And as per usual, our taste, not all these books should be to our taste.
No.
As I saw, even the editors-in-chief at DC Comics are now stating the exact same thing as far as maybe all of these books should not be to one single person's taste, that there should be different styles and takes on these things. So, as before, we may hate it, you may love it.
Yeah.
Follow your own gut. Be yourself. Next week we do have more books though, but next week is kind of next week. It's actually coming out on Wednesday, just like we did last week. It's our final catch-up episode, so we can actually get fully up to date. So let me bring up the books for next week.
All right, I've actually got them already.
Oh, perfect.
We've got Supergirl. We've got
The last episode of Space Hogwarts.
the last episode.
Yes, the last episode
The
of
last
Space
episode, okay.
Hogwarts.
So, Superman, Batman, Earth 2 World's End, Teen Titans number 8, New 52 Future's End number 46. Let's see what else we got here. Batman Eternal, Batgirl, Batgirl Endgame.
Man, a lot of Batgirl.
Yeah, Red Hood and the Outlaws, Trinity of Sin, Batman Superman number 20, and Green Lantern New Guardians.
And
New Guardians.
Yeah, it's a nice little hodgepodge of books we got there for next week. So make sure you tune in on Wednesday to see what we thought of those ones and keep you up to date with what's happening there. So if you do want to contact us, you can do so pretty easily. Kelly, what are the steps to contacting us?
Type DCR podcast into the internet and
Okay.
press go.
Press go. I don't have a go key.
Oh, press enter.
Well, wait, no.
Return.
It's giving me an error now. It says install Java. Where do I install Java at?
On your computer. I don't know. I'm not a computer
Kelly.
person.
Just hook it up directly to your veins.
All I know is that
Pour it into my face.
Your directions are poured. I have viruses now.
well, that's your problem.
Okay. Delete internet. But yes, if you do, feel free to shoot us a line. We are going to start getting caught up with questions here pretty soon. You can also email us at feedback@dcrpodcast.com. As I said before, I'm still making up some lost ground, so I'm not ignoring you. I've read them all, and I'm trying to respond to them as quickly as I can.
I read them all, at least on Facebook.
Yes,
and
you are the queen of Facebook.
I do actually read them. Sometimes I don't respond because I don't know what to respond. Or it's not directed towards me, so I just kind of, let the boys deal with it.
Fair enough. So, Kelly, do you have anything before we take off for this week? For this day?
Not that I can think of.
Oh, God, I hate asking that. Brian, do you have anything before we take off for this episode?
I misread. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad doesn't come out till, this upcoming Wednesday.
Oh, God. So we have to do that again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our son was super, super, super sad when we're standing in the comic book store, and he's just like, I only get Squirrel Girl. It's like, yeah, Daddy
Why
read
don't you
that
just
wrong.
draw a Big Thunder Mountain comic for him?
Yeah, I've got time to do that.
Yeah, do that now.
Totally. Yeah.
Kelly's over
Plenty
here
of
napping.
time.
Why doesn't she put one together?
Squirrel Girl had him crying in laughter. So
Well, good. At least there's
it's nice to know there is in fact an all ages comic being put out.
Yes, very much so. So, I guess if that's it, everyone enjoy your books, enjoy your week, enjoy your lives, and make sure you enjoy the hobby. Let's all be friendly, happy, and have fun.
Yeah,
Let's try that for a week,
Yeah.
and then we will
the
talk
internet
to you.
says no.
And we'll talk to you very, very soon.